Hi everyone, my name is Sonia, Developer Program Engineer at Shadium, and today in this video we are going to learn about what is Git, GitHub, and why do we need it. First of all, let's understand what exactly is Git and why it is so popular. Git is the version control system and, in fact, the most popular version control system in the world. Imagine you're working on a project and you want to keep track of changes, go back to previous versions, or collaborate with others without messing up each other's work. That's where Git comes in. Git allows you to save snapshots of your projects over time. Each snapshot is called a commit. You can think of commits like checkpoints in a video game. If something goes wrong, you can always go back to a previous checkpoint. This is especially useful when you are experimenting with new features or fixing any sort of bugs. When you make a commit, it's a good practice to add a message that describes the changes that you have made. This helps you and others understand the history of the project and why certain changes were made. Without a version control system, you would have to constantly store the copies of the entire project in various folders. This is very slow and doesn't scale at all, especially if multiple people are working together on the same project. You have to constantly toss around the latest code through email or some other mechanism and then manually merge the changes, which is not scalable at all. So, in a nutshell, Git helps you manage your project's history and collaborate with others efficiently, solving many of the headaches that come with traditional file management. Now, let's talk about the type of version control system. There are mainly two types of version control system: centralized and distributed. On the first, we have centralized version control system. In a centralized system, there is a single central server that stores all the versions of the project. Everyone works on this central server, checking out files to work on and checking them back in when they are done. This means that all the project history is kept in one place. While this setup server is very straightforward, it has a major drawback. If the central server goes down or the database gets corrupted, you are at the risk of losing the entire project's history. On the other hand, we have a distributed version control system like Git. In a distributed version control system, every developer has a full copy of the entire project history on their own machine. This means that you can work independently without needing a constant connection to the central server. If one machine crashes, no problem, we have the other machines that have a complete copy of the project. With distributed version control, collaboration is also easier and more flexible. You can commit changes locally and later you can push these changes to a remote repository like GitHub to share with others. This makes it much more powerful, especially for the larger teams or the open source projects like Shardium, where developers might be spread across the globe. Centralized systems are simpler but riskier, while distributed systems like Git, they offer flexibility, more reliability, and independence. Um, while Git is incredibly popular among software developers, it is important to know that Git is more than just a tool for coding. Now, let's go over some of the key features of the version control systems. First up, we have free and open source. Tools like Git are free to use and open source, meaning anyone can contribute to its development and improvement. This makes it accessible to everyone from individual developers to large organizations. Next, tracks history. Version control system keeps a detailed history of every change made to the project. This means that you can always look back and see what changes were made, who made them, and why those changes were made. This is very important, especially for understanding the evolution of your project. Then work together. Version control system allow multiple developers to work on the same project simultaneously without overwriting each other's work. This is essential for collaboration, whether you are working with a small team or contributing to a large open source project. Finally, we have easier branching. Branching allows you to create separate lines of development within your project. You can experiment with new features or fixes in a branch without affecting the main code base. Once everything is working perfectly, you can merge your changes back into the main branch. This makes development more flexible and organized. So, these features being free and open source, tracking history, enabling collaboration, and easier branching are what makes version control system like Git more powerful, and they are very essential for the modern development. Now that we had a good understanding of Git, let's understand what is GitHub and what makes it such a popular platform. So, what is GitHub? Basically, GitHub is a platform that hosts repositories, or repo for short. It's a place where your code lives. It contains all of your project files and its revision history. GitHub provides a user friendly interface for managing repositories, making it easy to navigate through your code, view commit history, and also collaborate with others. GitHub is like a social media platform, but for the developers, where they host their code, collaborate with others, and contribute to open source projects. Now, let's take a look at some of its features. One of the key features of GitHub is collaboration. It allows multiple developers to work on the same project simultaneously. Developers can make changes to the code base, create branches to work on new features or bug fixes, and submit pull requests to propose their changes to the main project. This makes it easier for the teams to work together and review each other's code before integrating it into the main project. Some of the other features of GitHub include easy project management. It offers tools like issue tracking, project boards, and milestone that basically allows team to organize and prioritize their work more effectively. This helps teams stay on track and also to make sure that everyone knows what needs to be done. Another important feature is effective team management. GitHub allows teams to set permission and access control so that they can control who can view, edit, and merge the code. This basically helps to maintain security and integrity within the team and also ensures that only authorized users can make changes to the code base. So, overall, GitHub is a very powerful platform. It's a place for collaboration, innovation, and learning in the world of software development. So, that's a wrap on our discussion about Git and GitHub. Whether you are a student, developer, or someone who is looking to contribute to open source project, learning Git is very essential. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks again for watching.